Howdy, everyone. I'm coming on here to do something a little bit different than my usual. Wanted to come here and talk about the school shootings. My thoughts are a little bit unusual and unique. Um, it's me. But I don't know. I have a thought or two that I think might just be helpful. We'll see. So, luckily on social media, we've gotten beyond, hopefully, the thoughts and prayers phase. But I see in my feed all the time, how about let's policy change, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, great. I think that there's some great thoughts along those lines. But the thing with policy change, a couple things about that. Changing policy at the federal level is going to take a long time, right? And if we've already had almost, 20 shootings of some sort this year, and it hasn't even been 2 months yet, imagine how many more shootings we would have before any policy change is going to happen. Something to think about. So that's just going to take a while. And consider the fact that we are a very heterogeneous nation with lots of different opinions, and that policy change is going to take even longer to get people to agree on something. It takes long enough to get the government alone to agree on something, let alone their constituents. So that's going to take a long time. So let's consider potentially the deeper issue that gets people going in this direction. Why do we have so many shootings, and why do we have so much violence going on right now in the first place? I have a thought. Just observing people in general when I'm out and about, and just observing people in my college classroom over the past couple of years. I've been in the education business, I suppose you could say, for 17 years, almost 17 years, and I've seen things change over time, of course. So what do I see? What do all of us see if you're observant at all when you're out and about? You see people walking down the street these days like this. It used to be when I was walking around, I'd see more people looking around, and now I see more people just doing things like this instead and not looking up, and they're typing and not looking around. It used to be that I could just wave at people walking down the street or at least share a smile, and that's not happening so much anymore. And that has dramatically changed things. We think of ourselves. We don't think of other people so much. Less sharing, less caring. So, I just think this has trickled down to so much of life. There's less community. We tend to associate more with like-minded people, and less discourse, less communication with those who disagree with us. Which, yeah, it's healthy to have conversations with people who don't agree with you. You don't have to agree with them. You just have to learn to communicate with them, because that's what makes our nice little world go round. So yes, phone usage has increased, internet usage has increased, but it keeps me in touch with everyone. But it keeps you out of touch with the world, and that I think is a huge problem. And in fact, it's become, I think, even more of an issue with the younger generations, because consider that the iPhone is over 10 years old now, and we have a lot of kids who really don't know much or any of their lives without cell phones or iPhones or smartphones, things like that. So these kids who are coming up the ranks and performing these acts of violence have a lot of socialization issues in their life. So if you are an educator like me, especially those working in the younger grades, not like me because I've always worked in the college environment, I encourage you to find those in your classroom who are maybe having issues with socialization, seeing the ones who are violent, the ones who are, sequestering themselves aside more often, not getting along with others. You know what I'm talking about. Any of those categories. Talking with them, seeing what's going on in their lives, talking with their parents, seeing what's going on in their lives, and maybe just getting them to interact with others a little bit more, so we don't have another Timothy McVeigh or the Unabomber or any of those. Whoa, I just showed my age, but But anyway, you get the idea. In my classroom, I do the same. I do lots of group work in my classes just so we learn to interact with others that might not agree with us. And we do it in a civil way. Because after all, that's what we have to do in life, or that's what we should have to do in life, so that if we have a conversation and we don't agree with someone else, it doesn't end up in sword fight. It ends up in just, maybe we never talk with a person again. Fair enough. That happens in life. All right? And that's what this all boils down to me. So, educators, hopefully you can help out with this. This is not only the responsibility of me and us as educators, I think that it's the responsibility of everyone, in fact. So, the next time you're walking around, going down the street, or just into the library or into a store or whatever it is you're doing, instead of walking down the grocery aisle, just, tapping into your phone or having your own little private moment laughing at someone else's conversation that you're having on your phone, maybe look up and look around. Say hi to someone or smile. Or maybe if you're on the bus and it's not someone kind of scary looking next to you, maybe if it's someone, ordinary like me. I am an ordinary person. I try not to be a scary person. Maybe if it's someone sitting next to you, maybe have a few words of conversation even. I know. You're looking at me and saying, but wait, I'm an introvert. I can't do things like that. Listen, I was an introvert once too. Believe it or not, I was. And even if you're an introvert, it's everyone's responsibility to help out because we are all citizens of this planet. So, if you are saying, no, I can't do that, maybe you can't have a full-on conversation, but at least smile. Smiling is easy. Say hi. Even if hi gives you convulsions, you can at least smile at someone else, look up from this device, and just give someone a smile and just wave and let someone else know that the world appreciates them. Garnering a sense of community. It's all of our responsibility for everyone's sake. And maybe I'm hoping that just these small efforts that I try to impart here in this video or here every day in my classroom can make small efforts toward just a little bit less violence in this world, in our country, and everywhere. And hopefully, little by little, we can, in our way, make America great again. Thanks.